As you capture all these different information points within Chronicler or inside your incident management system, we create this wider picture, this wider understanding. And each of those elements create a log. Now, they might be logs that are relevant to the incident at hand, or they might be logs that are relevant to the wider understanding, the wider picture that's occurred. What we see is the inability to capture a log when we need to present it, whether it's a litigious element, whether it's a coronial inquest, whether it's a government inquiry. And so the key elements to that are the ability to ensure that the log is authored. The log, we understand who wrote the log. Was it a system-generated note or was it added by a user? When was it added? Date and time is critically important, and recognizing that we do work in environments where we have time zones and we have control rooms across different time zones. So understanding those time zone differences, understanding what was written, and if it is incorrect, that we have struck it and omitted it in a correct way, that it will stand up when it's under scrutiny, that we can still see what was previously there and what's been removed. And that ultimately it's in a chronological order. It's in an order and a flow that makes sense. A good example I use regularly with our customers is we were delivering our incident management system into a large stadium, and the response to that incident, there was a cardiac arrest, and the initial response to that incident was quite good. There was a couple of teams on scene within 2 minutes. CPR was commenced and the response occurred. There was a delay in additional medical teams arriving on scene and additional security teams. Now, in the case of this log, it wasn't recorded specifically as to why there was this delay for other resources. And so instead, what our client was able to do was to look at the bigger log, to look at the entire event log. And at that point, they then realized that at the same point in time this cardiac arrest was occurring, there was a large altercation that was happening only a few bays down that were tying up a large number of police and security resources. The match had just ended. The venue was moving into an egress mode. And there was actually 2 other medical incidents that both required ambulance transports that were also simultaneously happening. So when you suddenly looked at the incident through that lens, through taking a step back, through, again, a different log that had a much wider picture, the narrative changed, and we realized that what these teams had actually managed to achieve and to have a positive outcome for the cardiac arrest patient and for these other 2 patients, and to resolve this security incident, and whilst the venue was on egress, was quite remarkable. And the resourcing capability that they were able to get from using Chronicler to be able to dispatch all those resources and to log all those actions brought everything together. So when you have all these different pieces in a single log, and depending on how you look at that log, changes the aspects and also changes how you can present that information to those that are looking at it from a third-party lens.